Okay, I am still trying to figure out the best place for me to record videos, and I think I found the perfect room. Now I've just got to find the right angle, so bear with me. But in the meanwhile, I wanted to do a video using the Hourglass, what is it called? Seamless Finish Foundation Stick. This came out in 2016. Sleek packaging that it has. I am in the color Golden Amber. I've wanted to try this for a while. This is considered a high-end foundation. I believe this is $45. I'll put the price up here. I did get mine at Sephora. From what I hear, this is a good foundation for combination to oily skin. I am combination oily. Here recently I've been a little bit more normal. I'm going to start off with priming my face. I just have a little chit chat. How about that? Using this Carli Vino Source. This is in the moisturizing mattifying fluid. It does help keep my skin a little bit more matte, but I have found that using an SPF helps as well. So I will be using my Shiseido. This is the SPF 42. It's a water resistant. It's about 2 drops of this, and I just press it. And I just press that into my skin. It, for the most part, doesn't give me like that white overcast that a lot of people talk about sunscreens doing. So I like that. I'm going to be using some products that I picked up in some hauls that you've seen recently. So I'm going to use those first before I put this foundation on, because I want this foundation to have the best possible chance at winning at life ever. Only because I've only wanted it for a year now. So let's go in with primer for my eyes. And this is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. And I'm just gently pressing that into my eyelid, even around my eyebrow. That will help my brow gel go on a little bit smoother, help keep my eyes from getting greasy. Let's just move you in a little bit. There we go. Not much has changed with my brow routine. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Dip Brow in the color Auburn. With my Anastasia brush, I would tell you the number, but it has rubbed off, so we don't have a clue. It's either 12 or 14, I'm not sure. Whichever is not the shorter one, that's the one it is. And I recently got my eyebrows threaded at a new place, and they made my eyebrows way too skinny. So I feel like I have to overdraw my eyebrows until they grow in. And I know I said I was going to be chit-chatting, but eyebrows are such a serious business to me that I got to focus when I do this. I really kind of want them to look the same. And I feel like if I'm talking while I'm doing it, they're not only going to look like distant cousins, they're going to look like they don't even know each other. They didn't live on the same block, go to the same school. None of that. See what I'm saying? Now they're not even matching. It's like they're angry at each other right now. And I gotta come in and make them get along. But hopefully when I get done with everything, it'll come together. So to clean up my brows, I'm actually taking some of the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation, and I've mixed it with the new MAC barely there, naked, water, see-through, whatever that new foundation is that they're peddling. I don't want a foundation that looks like nothing, next to nothing. That's the name of it. If it's next to nothing, I might as well not wear anything. That's how I feel. Now I do like the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. I haven't tried it in the summertime, which is I think when it'll work best on my skin. It is definitely a little bit too drying for me to wear in the wintertime. So that's why I mixed it with this one, because this water foundation situation MAC has going on, I can't do anything with it. And I just keep looking in the viewfinder to see if my eyebrows look crazy or what. Alright, so let's just set these bad boys and move on. I'll be all day trying to get eyebrows together, which is typically what happens, and then I run out of time, and then I'm late. And somebody's asking me, what took you so long? Well, I have to get these damn brows together. Hell. Moving on. So for my eyes, I will be using the new NYX CosmicMetals palette. I think I want to pull a few colors out of here and a few colors out of the original BH Cosmetics and Carli Bybel palette. I got this at Ulta because, again, I didn't get it last year. Last year was a rough year for me, so I didn't get a whole lot of makeup. So for those of you who don't know, let's cover that up. This is what the colors look like. Breaking out in hives. So just starting with the 217 MAC 217 brush, I'm going to use my favorite transition color, which is Blame It On Midnight by NYX. And I'm just going to place that pretty much all over my lid, up into the crease area. This color almost matches my skin tone perfectly, which is why I love it. And then using a Sigma blending brush, this is the E25, which is pretty similar to the what is this thing called? To the MAC 217. I am going to go into the BH Cosmetics palette, and I'm going to start off by grabbing this color here. It looks like a nice neutral color, but for whatever reason on me it pulls really plum. Looks like these products have some kickback. So I'm just going to put that in my crease. And now that I've put that on my eyes, it is kind of ashy on me, which I don't even know if y'all will be able to tell. And next, with the same brush, I just cleaned it off. I'm going to be using this plum color here. And I'm just loading it up on this brush. These have a lot of fallout. Place this on the center of my lid towards the outer third of my lid. Now this Carli Bybel is the first, no, I was about to lie and say this is the first BH Cosmetics palettes that I've had, but it actually is not the first one. And these colors, I'm not really impressed with. But we're going to try to make this work, because I got stuff I got to do. It's like I can't build the color up. It's building up just fine on my face though. And part of me wonders if I would have used a paint pot or a NYX jumbo pencil first, if these would have popped anymore. It's like almost nothing. So this is just a flat shader brush from Sephora brand. I'm gonna take this darker color here, let's see, and deepen up the crease a little bit. I wonder if I can pack on this lighter color on my lid with this brush. If you got this Carli Bybel palette and you love it, can you leave a comment below and tell me how you use it? Because I can't figure it out. And I know I didn't ride the slow bus this morning. Trying to save this look any way I possibly freaking can, to be honest, because I'm over it. And we just started. We ain't even got to the good part yet, and I'm already over it. Okay, so the highlight shade wants to work with me. I'm using this one here. Dare I say maybe my skin was too dry for these products? Because that seems weird. I'm going to try this stiffer brush to see if that helps. No. Okay, let's see if the NYX CosmicMetals can help save this look. At this point, I'm going to start thinking it's me. So I'm going to give that Carli Bybel another chance because it might just be the primer. Yeah. Okay, there is no saving this eye look. It just is what it is, and I gotta move on and let it go and let God. It's like everything I try to do, it's just making it worse. So I don't know if it's the Carli Bybel palette. I don't know if it's the primer. I don't know if it's just me. It's all of it. So we're just gonna move on, and I'm gonna use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Not Better Than Sex. I'm not sure who came up with that name. So far so good. Numero dos. And if you're anything like me with lashes, one lash will go on so smooth and easy, and then when you get to the second one, you're like, I got this. Okay, we got this. And that joker will do whatever it wants except do what you need it to do, which is go on straight, stick to your eyelid. Like, had you never had sex? If you had, who were you having sex with? Maybe you should try again. Maybe you had sex with the wrong person or persons. Maybe you did it wrong. I don't know. I just don't feel like this is better than sex. Oh, and I use the travel size of most mascaras until I really decide that I love them, and then I'll splurge on the big size. Because mascaras go bad pretty easily, or pretty quickly, not easily, but pretty quickly. So I hate to get one and not be sure if I like it, and then I'm stuck with that big ass tube of mascara that I'm not gonna use. You see what I'm saying? This eye, perfect. This eye, caterpillar. What the hey? Now I do have to give the disclaimer that on this eye I do have a beauty mark. We won't call it a birth defect. It is a beauty mark on my eyelid that is an indentation that sometimes makes it difficult for me to apply lashes. But since this lash is pretty long, which is why I like it, it does cover the width of my eye. I should not run into any troubles. They look good. As good as it's gonna get. I just keep looking at this ratchet ass eyeshadow. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was trying to have a purple moment and fail. Before we go back in and do any shadow underneath my eye or any mascara, let's move on to foundation. Sounds so fancy. Nail or caramel, depending on where you're from. Zoom out a little bit. It is a little light for my face, but I thought it would be a great color to use as a highlight instead of a concealer. But if it don't work, we got the Tarte Shape Tape on standby, on deck. So let's start out with priming the rest of my face. I'm just using this Becca Evermatte and what is it? Evermatte Poreless Primer and some Clinique Super Primer. This is the color corrector one, and literally dab 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 this all over my face and around the areas where I feel like my pores are larger. I press the primer in instead of swiping it and rubbing it. Whew. Let's start out by using the Anastasia, and so we're going to apply it to the areas I would normally put of concealer. You know what I forgot to do? Color correct. Okay. Let me just start out by blending this stuff out. And I'm just using a damp beauty blender. And I feel like the beauty blender definitely sheared out this color, but my face is still bright. So it doesn't, I don't have a lot of coverage, but I can tell that there's something there. Team too much, I feel like I need a little bit more. So we're gonna try to contain ourselves and not go overboard. Put that up before something bad happens. So although I feel like it did definitely brighten my face, it didn't give me the coverage underneath my eyes that I really wanted. Alright, now let's jump over onto the Hourglass. So if you've watched YouTube channel, you've seen everybody except me talk about this foundation last year and how you apply it. I'm looking for the instructions right now. It came with instructions. It came with a $45 brush. I ain't had time for all that. I ain't had the money for all that. Like, it needs to work with the brushes I have because that's what I'm going to use. And if you like me, you need products to work with what you already got and not something else. Okay, this says this is formula is highly concentrated. Appreciate it. A small amount is needed. Start with less and then build. We'll try it. Shaft here turns and the product comes up. Let's see, for best results, blend the foundation with the Vanish foundation brush. Or not, because we didn't buy that. Lightly dot foundation on each cheek. On your forehead and chin, use a brush and blend the foundation in a light sweeping motion all over the face for a seamless finish. For additional coverage, add more foundation. Thank you for letting me know if I want additional coverage, y'all. That's what I need to do because I had no clue what my choices were. So let's start with the cheek. Okay, I know it's at A dot and I'm just making a little baby tiny. And let's take the product back down before something bad happens to it. And we're just going to use the Beauty Blender. Okay, so can you see where I put it? Right here. Can you see where I put it? And we're going to start blending. Well, I can tell you this. I did one hell of a job picking out a color that matches me. Only had a year to figure it out. Anybody ask you? And just agree. And we're gonna come back over here. I completely forgot that I put foundation right there. We just went over that. Now for some reason I feel like the need to really just push this Beauty Blender on my face, and I don't think it's necessary, but I can't control myself. So I can tell you that this Hourglass foundation compared to the Anastasia foundation, the Hourglass is definitely more pigmented, if that makes sense. It is more full coverage than the Anastasia Beverly Hills, is what I'm trying to say. Don't be like that, you knew what I meant. Now, I'm not going to judge, but I don't know who is just making one dot and making that work on their face with this foundation. Whoever they are, kudos to them. Do I think that the Beauty Blender is sharing it out? Maybe just a little bit. See, and the sample I had, my face did this. Does my face look green to you? Because it looks green to me. I mean, so the Anastasia color isn't that light, or as light as I thought it was. Shape Tape to the rescue. And mind you, with this Shape Tape, literally one dip. Do not need to go back in. If you're going back in to your Shape Tape, I think you're using too much. That is just my personal preference. You do you, how you feel you look the best. And still, even with the Shape Tape, I'm just doing very gentle presses underneath the eye. This helps get the foundation into the fine lines if you have any. Helps combat any creasing that you may experience. The deal with Shape Tape is you need to move fast. This is not a product to play around with. Now the crazy thing is, on camera, my face looks super highlighted. In person, I can barely tell, and that's almost what you want to look like. Like, I look like my face is glowing and not that stark effect that everyone was guilty of a few years ago. And you just want to blend, blend, blend. So far, Hourglass, I'm really loving you. I'm probably going to take back this Anastasia. Yeah. Just didn't do it for me. There's no need for me to hold on to a product that I'm not going to use. So it's gotta go. So let's do a little baking. What do y'all want? Chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal raisin cookies, sweet potato pie. I got you. We almost had a catastrophe. Now what works best for me is to press the powder that I place on the highlighted parts. Press that powder into my skin and then sweep it off. Contour the sides of my nose. might have went a little ham on that. Did I tell you what lashes I put on? This is the Eylure KrazyRayRay. Now, this came out along with the Nicole Guerrero 143s, which I love. And I went to go get another pair of those, and I saw these and I said, let me just give them a try. I actually picked them up on accident. That's the truth. Not paying attention and was trying to get in and get out. And when I realized what I picked up, I was like, well, it's meant to happen that way. So we went with it. Alright, for blush, I'm going to be using my old but loved Bad Girl, what's this called? Bad Girl Gone Good from the Rihanna collection. Yes, I still have it. Don't be like that. This is just on a MAC 188 short handle. Now that's a highlight. Do you see what's happening to my face? And if you saw my anti-haul Jeffree Star fail, the reaction I just had was the reaction I really wanted to have when I put on King Tut, and I just refused to allow myself. Now I can say with this highlight, it does seem to bring out a little bit more texture than I would like, but I'm not mad at it. Okay, I better stop with the highlight before it ends up all over my face. Okay, one more face. My Laura Mercier. This has a weird smell to it, which is probably why I don't really, no, I don't use it because it oxidizes on me. So I just lined my lips with the MAC's Chestnut and Plum lip liners. And I'm going to go in with this Too Faced Melted Longwear lipstick. Haven't worn this in a while. Let me go underneath these eyes with a little color and some mascara, and then we're done. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and come back to see my world. Now I really should have zoomed you in so you could see what I was doing. My bad. Forgive me.